Hello, Joanne here again. And I just realized my mic is not plugged in. So let me plug it in. Hello, Joanne here again. A slight cold, but I want to keep my commitment in doing my weekly Monday lives. And today I'm going to talk about how you can be your own bank here in Canada. So if you are looking for a way to have an investment grow in value while also facilitating the ability for you to borrow or lend to yourself without any credit checks, maybe to buy a car or to invest in property, then stay tuned because this is the concept that I'm going to be tackling with today's video. So, have you heard about the infinite banking concept, or have you heard, you might hear the term bank on yourself or be your own bank? Um, Different channels or different people have definitely done a lot of videos on the US side about these topics, but not a lot of content is available here in Canada. And today I want to just tackle that topic. I have done this myself and I've studied it for a while. And so I'm just going to share my experience and tips that I would encourage you if you are considering this. So, first of all, what I want to say is that it is possible here in Canada, be it if you hear the term be your own bank or infinite banking or bank on yourself. And the key element of that, as I've highlighted in the description of my video, is using a whole life participating insurance policy. Really briefly, what this infinite banking concept involves is that you are investing in an insurance policy, which is whole life participating. And there are only a few companies within Canada that offer this product. And as you pay your premiums for that life insurance, the cash value of that insurance policy grows, and that cash value is accessible to you through a loan. And the biggest benefit of that cash value being accessible to you through a loan is one, if you are to remove it or use it via this loan, you are not, it's tax free because it's a loan to yourself. And the second biggest benefit is that because of the policy being in your name, you actually don't have any credit checks required because of the asset that is securing that loan, which is your insurance policy. The third biggest benefit is that as you take that loan out on that insurance policy, it's up to you in terms of when or how much you pay it back. Now, I actually would encourage you to pay it back. However, I want to be clear that there is flexibility again because it is a loan on a whole life participating insurance policy. The entity or the insurance company that lends you the money through another financing entity, they're guaranteed their repayment, because if you don't pay it back during the time that you're alive, once you've passed, that insurance policy is paid out, and the very first thing it does is pay off any outstanding debt and pay the net proceeds to your successors or people who have survived you, survivors. All right. So bottom line is the bank on yourself, be your own bank, infinite banking. It is a possibility here in Canada. I really want to encourage you, first of all, to educate yourself. It took me a while to get my head around this concept. And I actually even implemented it for the first time, I think, in 2016. And the policy that I got structured wasn't quite optimal because I went with the right company, but I didn't go with the right insurance broker who really had an understanding of the concept and therefore could optimize the policy. So Fast forward to 2021 or 2022, I was able to connect with a fantastic insurance broker who truly understood the ins and outs of to how to design the policy effectively. And I had him review my current policy, and we ended up canceling that policy and replacing it with a better policy, which in the short time that I've had it has increased in value way faster than the policy that I had in 2016. So, one of my recommendations, first of all, you really want to educate yourself. You are the person who's responsible for your finances, and nobody's going to care more than you. So you need to educate yourself if this is something that you are considering. There's lots of great videos on YouTube, but I specifically put in my show notes or description a link to a Canadian specific video that goes into detail by my preferred insurance broker of some of the concepts and misconceptions for you to really educate yourself. I also list and highly recommend the book by Nelson Nash. I actually have a physical copy of it that I've read multiple times, trying to really wrap my head and make sure I understand that. And I would really encourage you to read that book. I mean, you can get it electronically nowadays because of technology. I just preferred to have the physical book so I could write on it and whatnot. And then once you have educated yourself, as I said, even when I first started educating myself, you want to deal with someone who really understands how to structure the policy correctly and who is also going to get an assessment for your ability and your needs to not only structure the policy correctly to maximize the value to you, but there's different types of policies depending on your objective or needs within that area that that person having that knowledge would be able to match to you correctly. So, bottom line is with this whole life insurance policy, you are paying premiums towards this policy, and you are getting this guaranteed life insurance, right? But then on top of that is this cash value that's building up as you pay your premiums that then is accessible through a loan, which would be tax free to you to do whatever you would like. I would really encourage it to be good debt for you, which means to use that loan to invest in an income producing asset. Regardless, if you use that loan, another of the key benefits, as I said, is that it's up to you in terms of the timing and the amount that you pay it back. Because of regardless if you pay it back during the time that you're alive or not, the insurance company is going to be paying out on that insurance policy. And the very first thing they do is clear any loans that are secured by it and then pay the remaining to your survivors. Now, with these loans, you also are paying interest. And it's one of the beauties of these, what we call policy loans, is that it's simple interest. So not only, as I said earlier, you don't need to qualify with any credit checks because of the underlying policy being in your name, the interest that's being calculated is with using simple interest. Now, the last thing I'm going to say is that I talked about you having this insurance policy and you're paying premiums that partially go to actually cover the cost of the insurance and partially go to grow your cash value. One of the other beauties of these whole life insurance policies that help you to grow that cash value is that because it's a whole life participating insurance policy, you are an owner in this insurance company. And because of that, you're going to get dividends into your policy every year. Usually, I think at least for the insurance company that I'm going through, they have consistently paid dividends. And those dividends go back into the policy again to continue to grow that cash value. So your cash value is growing not only because of the premiums that you're paying, but it's also growing because of the dividends that you're earning on your investment. And the key thing is when you take that policy loan, you're not disturbing the value of your insurance of your insurance. So say you have a cash value of 10K and you're getting dividends on that and whatnot, and you take a policy loan for let's say the 9K, because I think policy loans, I think, depending on the company that you use, let's say goes up to 80%. So if you have 10K, you can do a loan of 8,000. Again, no credit checks, really simple process. That 8K loan isn't going to make the value of your cash now 2K. You still have this asset of 10K cash value, and you have a loan secured by that asset of 8K. And that's how you become your own bank, because that's what banks do every day. They get deposits from us into their bank, and then they say, oh, we have these assets. And then the government says, okay, because you have these assets, you can create more cash over here through loans and charge X% to earn income and build your own bank. And you're using that same concept when you plug in and master this infinite banking concept, and then put it into play by purchasing a whole life participating insurance policy. Now, again, I encourage education because it's not for everyone. It took me a while to get my head around it, and I was definitely a proponent of, I'm just going to buy term life insurance. I'm not going to do this extra, what I thought to be expensive or sunk costs to buy a whole life participating insurance policy, because definitely the premiums are going to be higher than term life insurance. But to me, the key thing that came from me is that it isn't a sunk cost. I'm getting value for it, and I'm getting flexibility to leverage that value through another way, which I'm not able to do with term life insurance. Plus, because it's participating, I'm also earning additional income, investment income through dividends. So I want to keep this video short. Really want to encourage us Canadians to educate ourselves with the different tools that we can build wealth here in Canada. And I believe personally that one of those tools is through a whole life participating insurance policy where you can build your own bank. I've encouraged you to get educated and then choose wisely the broker you deal with to do this. I have done this twice, as I said. I did it with a broker who didn't fully understand, and I did it with another broker who really had a good understanding and a track record of setting up these policies correctly. And so the link that I'm sharing in my description to the other video that goes into detail is from that insurance broker that I personally can recommend, because I work with him and I work with his team. I've experienced the system, and I don't recommend or discuss products that I haven't touched myself or used myself. And so I can feel confident having dealt with this this concept for several years, and then dealing specifically with this broker for several years, to come here and share the concept with you, encourage you to educate yourself and figure out if it is for you. And then if it is for you, I recommend that you connect with the broker that I'm sharing the link to in the video. I believe that his team is a very strong one. All right. I've kept my commitment. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions or comments, feel free. And also, I'm always looking for input as to topics you'd like to see me cover. Just comment on the video, and that helps me to deliver content that's of value to you. Have a great night, and see you next Monday.